So I'm on my way to buy my first camera that I've bought in over 5 years. Let's go. Had to make a quick Tim stop. Now we get back to it. Time to acquire the camera.
I've been thinking how our tastes in music reflect our everyday lives.
So the camera has been secured. I'm now making my way over to one more spot to grab one more thing. We've arrived at our final destination, so I'm just gonna run in and then I'll see you guys at home. So we are home and finally ready to get into this bag. Whoa, that's gonna fill the frame. So first thing inside here, we have the Fuji EF-X8 flash. So this is just a really small onboard flash that goes with the camera because the XE-4 unfortunately does not have a built-in flash. And next up, we have the Fujifilm XE-4. And after we get into the camera, I also have some extra goodies from Amazon that we're gonna unbox and take a look at. Alright, so let's get right into the box. Right on top here, as soon as we open, we are going to be greeted to some Fuji manuals. So there's a little ad for Capture One Express and then just the general manuals and warranty information. Something nice to mention as well, it does actually come included with a USB-C to headphone jack adapter, which is not featured on the camera, but it comes in the box. And then after that, we are greeted by the Fujifilm neck strap. So this seems to be made out of a nice like faux leather material. You can kind of see it there. Alright, next up we're just going to pull this piece of cardboard off and then voila, we are greeted to the camera itself. So first off we have a USB-C to USB-A cable for plugging it into the computer. And then we of course have the battery. So first we're going to pull out the lens right here. So this is the 27mm Fuji f2.8. This lens is weather sealed but the camera itself is not. Ooh, so here we go. So it is a super nice metallic feeling lens. Trust me guys, this thing is tiny, but it is very, very mighty. This is a fantastic lens and I'm super excited to get into using it. So you can see this is the new version of the lens, which does have the aperture ring as well as the focus wheel. And then the pièce de la résistance, let's get right into the camera itself. So this is the camera itself, voila, the Fuji XE-4. I am so excited to get into using this camera. As you guys can see, it is very small and compact, but it does have the same sensor as its bigger brother, the X-T4. So that means for the low price of this camera, you can still get very similar images to Fuji's higher quality cameras. All in this neat little body, which I must say, first impression, it is a little bit lighter than I was thinking. I did think it was going to be a bit more metallic and heavy, but I am not disappointed by the build quality one bit. It is still very nice, just a little bit lighter than I expected. I also did have the chance to use the X100V in store as well, and I can say weight-wise, they are really similar, so you're not looking at a super nice, expensive camera versus a cheaper copy. This is a very nice camera in itself. So before we get into any of the extra goodies, I'm just going to get the battery in and the lens attached to get this thing fired up. A little thing to note as well, it does not come with a battery charger included in the box, so I believe this USB-C cable is also going to be used for charging. So this is the camera with the lens attached. As you can see, it is still extremely small and compact. It is a really, really thin pancake lens, so you're gonna have no problem fitting this in your everyday bag, so you can have this thing on you at all times. Ooh. So voila, the Fuji XE-4. I am so excited to get into using this camera, as I already said, but before that, I'm going to get into some of the accessories that I bought alongside it. So my first accessory that I went and purchased today as well is the Fuji EF-X8 flash. So let's go ahead and get right into it. Once again, we were just greeted with some manuals right on top, and once we get inside here, we should have, voila, the flash itself. So this flash has a really neat and compact design. As you can see here, this thing is tiny. It's about the size of the battery of the camera. And so this little end will just go on your hot shoe and it tilts up just like that. So as you can see, this thing, even when it's up, it's really, really tiny. So now that we've gotten through the camera and the flash, like I said, I just have a couple little things from Amazon. So we have 3 packages right here that we're gonna get into. So we're gonna go ahead and start off with the smallest one right here. So what this right here is something kind of interesting you might have not thought of for this camera, but because the Fuji XE-4 has an open back display where the display is just open all the time, I thought it would be a good idea to get a little screen protector for it. So I'm going to leave some links below to where I purchased this from. It was from Amazon Canada, and I believe it was just $12. So it comes with some wet wipes. It also comes with a hot shoe level, which is pretty interesting. But aside from the screen protector, it also comes with a little Fujifilm dial for the shutter button. Now I'm actually pleasantly surprised. As you can see, it actually has a little Fujifilm logo on it, even though this is definitely not coming direct from Fuji. But nonetheless, it is a really cool little accessory that basically just raises your shutter button a little bit. Now next up we have something pretty interesting that actually comes in a box. So this right here, some of you can see, is a Smallrig. So Smallrigs can be used for a ton of different things. This one is basically so I can attach my microphone to the side so that I can still film myself in vertical mode, as you can see, where normally your microphone would go right here and block the screen, but with the Smallrig I can attach it to the side. So let's go ahead and pop this guy open. So right away we are just greeted with the rig itself, no special manuals or anything. And getting right into the rig, I can hear it already, that is some heavy metal. So small rigs are great. They do a bunch of different things, like give you a rail here, gives you a thumb grip, which is a nice alternative to the grip that Fujifilm sells. And then it also gives the opportunity to mount the microphone on the side here. And it also has a tripod thread on the side so you can mount it vertically as well. So this small rig here is going to be super useful, especially for video. Next up, and finally the thing I'm most excited for, is this package right here. So this is actually a lens adapter. Now you may be wondering, what lens is it for? So this is a real interesting one. This is coming from a company called Urth, who make really great products in this recycled packaging. And the lens adapter right here is nice, metal, definitely a durable piece of equipment that will last you. So this adapter right here is actually to convert from Canon FD lenses, which are vintage lenses commonly used on 35mm cameras like the AE1, and this will allow me to convert all of my old Canon lenses, which I've been using on my 35mm cameras, to the Fuji X mount, which is featured on the XE-4. So again, this little adapter ring from Urth is going to come in super handy in allowing me to use my old vintage Canon lenses on my brand new Fuji camera. And that about does it for everything I have today. So with all that unboxed, I'm super excited to get into using the Fuji X-E-4. If you guys would like a first impression video, let me know down below. I'm definitely going to get some shoots done with the camera as soon as possible, and then I'm sure I'll have plenty of thoughts to tell you guys. But with that said, I hope you enjoyed this unboxing, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.